Looks like the kidnappers made a big mistake. The girl in the trunk was Detective Jowd's daughter, Camilla, not the minister's daughter. When I got back to the Justice Minister's office, things were getting even more out of hand. The devastated man was being grilled by a fiery detective lady. I told Lynn what I had found out about the kidnapping, that it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who had been abducted. That the kidnappers had been holed up in Camilla's old house, and that they sensed my presence and were already gone. But Camilla? Why do they have Camilla? Her father isn't the stupid old Justice Minister. I think the stupid old part is a little uncalled for. Looks like the kidnappers made a mistake somehow. Poor girl, kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution. It's just too much. It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there's those other twists, too. Like the kidnappers winding up in and using Camilla's old house as their hideout. No way it could be just coincidence. And them sensing my presence. They seem to know about the powers of the dead. Just don't understand any of it. Told you before, Detective. Want you to stand back. Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister. It wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying. How can I believe in you? I'm a realist. Please. You don't believe what we say, see for yourself. Just call home and... I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. You won't? It's complicated. Oh, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? But if she doesn't answer, doesn't that mean everything's normal? It doesn't prove it. And I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed. What difference does it make that it's not my daughter? Woo-wee. That's quite a pickle, Mr. Minister. Quite a pickle. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanela. I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. Thought you might like to see him, so here he is. Detective Jowd? Detective Jowd, I'm so sorry, I tried. I know that you're innocent. Just can't prove it. So sorry. Lynn, please don't apologize to me. Ah, the beautiful love between a teacher and student. It brings a tear to my eye. What soccer flow am I supposed to do here? You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanela, that the execution was tonight? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you. And you're fine with this. I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Jowd could never have done such a thing. Come on now, baby, I know no such thing. Huh? I know two things to be true, and two things only. One, he was given the death penalty, and two, he tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby? If that's the case, why did you bring him here? Whatever do you mean, young lady? He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here So brag about your accomplishment, isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons. So were all those rumors true? Are all those rumors about you true? That the only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important to you than saving a friend? Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby. That's enough, Lynn. But Detective Jowd? I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be. But... talk to me, bruh. My poor Amelie. Is she alright? Actually, the girl who was kidnapped is named Camilla. Why is a dream talking to me in my head again? Wait a minute. Amelie? Could that be the Amelie next door? Yes, I think so. Wow, I didn't know the Justice Minister lived next door. No, not me, my wife. It's complicated. Yeah, I bet it would be pretty hard to admit she left him. The minister's wife ran away on him. Maybe they grew apart, what with him being so busy. Yeah, I bet you're right. Please stop gossiping about me inside my own head. According to what I heard, Amelie was supposed to go to some sort of lesson tonight. Those horrible kidnappers, they were lying in wait for her. But Amelie didn't go out after all. She couldn't. She had a fever. So the kidnappers grabbed Camilla by mistake instead. Apparently Amelie and Camilla are about the same age. Kidnappers must have gotten the two of them mixed up. My fault. If I hadn't asked Camilla to do that errand for me, this never would have happened. Oh right, you asked her to bring the music box. Camilla. So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. Here's something happened, something about a kidnapping. Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter. It's terrible. What's their demand? The carrying out of your execution tonight. I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple. It's not that simple. Why not? Because it isn't really the minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Camilla. What? Camilla? I checked it out for myself, I'm positive. No, it can't be. And by the way, Camilla told me something interesting. He said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was Camilla herself. What are you talking about? Don't listen to him. I'm the one who shot her. I'm the one who shot Alma. And when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camilla won't have to suffer anymore after tonight. For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. It'll just bring her new suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours. Is it true, what Camilla said? Why don't you tell us what you know? That murder 5 years ago. To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife's, Alma's birthday. We came home from work and she went in first. Bang. You won't have any parents left? She won't suffer anymore? Well, she'll suffer by not having parents. You know, who's gonna pay the bills, and buy food, and, you know, get her magazines and stuff like that. Plus, you know, she has that dog Missile. Dog's gonna die too. I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. There was nobody there besides Alma and Camilla, just the two of them. But the little lady's mother died right in front of her. Oh my, that's so horrible. Horrible. Camilla told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to. It made an impossible move. An impossible move? It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There's no other explanation. That's what I'd convinced everyone of, even me. But tonight you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. Powers of the dead, right? That day, in that room, powers that I didn't understand were at work. And if that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries. Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about those powers. Somebody there, can you hear me? Yes, yes, yes. The kidnappers who abducted Camilla knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. Looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was. Detective Jowd. There's still time before dawn, a little anyway. How about you see this case through to the end before you die? Camilla was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius at making elaborate toys and contraptions. But there were two very strange points about that contraption. The first was, of course, the firing of that gun. Right, that was an antique gun I'd had on display for years. So it wasn't part of the little lady original plan or design. Of course it wasn't. It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday. And the other strange point was the moment of that Cupid. Cupid? It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. You weren't in the room, so how do you even know this? Somebody made a change to the contraption's design and then manipulated it. I don't know what to say. I didn't have time to think things through then. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to be like, oh yeah, I should have thought about the ghosts. Changing things around and making things, worse. Also, what are you doing as a police officer keeping a loaded gun in your house? On display. What is wrong with you? All I knew was I had to protect Camilla. Made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in. Kind of an adjustment. The gun, of course. The gun, come to think of it. There was no gun there, just a picture hanging on the wall. Of course not, because I secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption. But one thing was for certain, that gun was still smoking. That gun really did shoot Alma. I hid the gun before I went to the police. You hid it? I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. What you mean? That detective still thinks it's a music box. That was a very small box. And that gun on the wall was gargantuan. There is no way. Well, that's what was in the box, huh? I got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police, my own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into the details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. Okay, but ballistics is a thing. So if you tried to say, oh, I shot this gun, they would match the ballistics records of the bullet to the rifling in the gun and be like, oh, this is actually the wrong gun. And they would go from there. Sucker. In case you forgot what happened a minute ago, when we keep repeating everything, in dialogue anyway, here's a recap. Yes. Isn't it so annoying? Detective Jowd, is what you told us just now true? Yes, of course. In that case, there's still time. Still time? Time to solve the case that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd. And of course, little Camilla didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there, and I'm going to prove it. That's not true, because the lamp said that the dead go away after 24 hours. It's been 5 years. For Camilla's sake. I will also throw it out there. The thought did cross my mind that the lamp was Alma. I think that would have been an interesting little twist. But to be sticking around for 5 years, you know, that's a long time. See, the lamp can't be trusted. It's starting to look that way. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Detective Jowd. Lynn, where is that music box now? In Temsic Park. Camilla left it there. That gun is important evidence. You better go pick it up. Yes, sir. I'll go right now. Sissel, take care of Detective Jowd. And do something about the kidnapping so we can get the minister on our side. And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say. What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate. Little change in plans. My daughter has been kidnapped. I can't just go off to die without doing something. But you're in our custody, don't forget. Back at the prison, everybody's waiting for you with a special seat just for you, baby. And I guess we'd better prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Camilla in more ways than one. That's all there is to it. I see, my old friend, in more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? The order still stands. Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please don't bow down to me. Especially not that low. In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? Yes, sir. And should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate? I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Let's see. I have to get Home Chick Slice to call him and be like, hey, well, I guess that one, we have to save the girl and we have to do that. Let's work on that. Glad to see Detective Jowd is all fired up now, but I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynn does come through with the proof of Jowd's innocence, it will be meaningless if Jowd or Camilla dies. Gotta do something about that kidnapping somehow. Maybe I should ask for some advice from the capable detective here. Fine. I feel like I already had a good plan, but you know. Hey, Know the Otter. Hope I'm enjoying this masterpiece of a game. I hope so too. Most likely, the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there's any small chance his daughter is the one who was kidnapped. But she isn't the one, I'm sure of it. Well, it would be great if we could prove that to the minister. Prove it how? I doubt his wife is ever going to answer the phone if we call from here. If we call from here, right? But a telephone works in both directions. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, only family members can solve a family problem. Hey, Mr. Ghost. Yes? I have to admit, I don't like depending on others. But you're the only one who can change the situation. Gee, detective. For these past 5 years, Camilla is the only thing that kept me going. Can't go meekly to the chair now. Hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me? I'll try. The key to getting the Justice Minister to stop the execution is his wife and daughter, but is there a way? Alrighty. What up, Lady Bread? Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now kidnapping. This last link in the long chain of a sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart, and the chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. Getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight has related back to me in some way. I bet this mistaken-ridden abduction does too. Perfect timing. That was Mark.